Good morning. It's May the 12th of 2021, and I want to tell you that we're up and running this morning and we're doing good, and we want to hear from you if you need us, okay? I got a good subject to talk about this morning I want to share with you. And the thing that I want to talk about today is adverse drug reactions. And I have to deal with these all the time. And they are a normal part of my daily routine in the sense that I have to look and be aware of adverse drug reactions and drug interactions and things like that when I'm reviewing your meds and trying to do the best thing for my patients or for you. The thing about adverse drug reactions is a couple of things. First of all, they can be very slow and almost undetectable in their development. And that's what makes it really hard because things come on kind of slow and people don't realize that their actual issue is an adverse drug reaction. So one of the things that I do almost every single time I see you is I do a quick glance at your meds and make sure there's no conflicting meds or not problems that with the current med you're on. Plus, if I'm listening to your complaint or you've got a complaint, and particularly if it's a mystery complaint, like you've got something going on that you can't pinpoint, you just feel bad or something's off. A lot of times I will try to relate it and see if it might have something to do with your drugs that you're taking. And actually, that's probably the first thing I do when somebody comes in with vague or generalized complaints, or they're having something and we just can't figure it out. Is I look and say, okay. And when I'm asking people, how long has this been going on? They say, oh, this has been going on for about a month. Let's say, have you started any new medicines around that time? And sometimes they'll say yes, and sometimes they'll say no. And what I'll do is stop that medicine to see if that was a problem, things like that. So I am aware of these things. I know they happen. And so with that being said, there's a couple of things I've got to add to it, some talking points. Number one, I really don't think you need to adjust your medicines on your own. In other words, you don't need to be the one taking yourself off medicines or putting yourself on medicine or figuring this out by yourself, okay? There's too many things that can go wrong, okay? So I want to encourage you that if you think you're having a drug reaction or you want to see if you're having an adverse drug reaction, you need to seek medical care. We will do it here for you. We'll look at them and I'll give you my best guess on what's going on, or you find somebody else or the person who prescribed the medicine to you and you say, I think I'm having a bad reaction to this medicine. What can we do about it? Okay, but please don't adjust your medicines on your own. These things are potent, they're dangerous. It took me years and years of studying and watching before I could even realize safely or feel like I safely can prescribe them. The pharmacists, they're tuned into this too, and they're great at helping us. Sometimes they'll call me and say, I think this is not a good reaction, or they're having an adverse reaction to the medicine. I'll call the patient in, we'll talk about it, and we'll use a very specific approach so we can actually determine whether it's that medicine or not. And I've seen people do different things like quit medicines on their own in the past. I don't recommend that. Or quit all medicines on their own. I don't recommend that because a lot of times that can kill you, particularly if you're older and you're on a lot of life-sustaining medications. So a good reason to visit me, a good reason to come in, is if you think you're having an adverse reaction to a medication, and we can look at your meds, we can review your meds, we can reconcile your meds, and we can say, okay, these symptoms might be related to this medicine, so let's just stop that medicine and see what happens. And I only like to do one at a time if I do that, okay, because I want to know which medicine was causing the problem. Because I only do one at a time, this can be very tedious and it can take a long time to get through it. Okay, so you got to be patient with me on that too, because sometimes I have to systematically go through the medicines. Like when people have an unknown rash, and I don't know what the rash is, and I think it's a drug rash. Well, I've got to figure out which medicines most likely cause rashes, and then I stop one at a time while watching the patient's safety and overall health, and we kind of just go back and forth like that. So if that's something we can do for you, or something you think you're experiencing, seek help or call us and we'll do a medication review for you during a visit, and we'll figure these things out. They're there. I know they're there, and we want to help you with them, and we want to do it as safely as possible. COVID-19, 1,550 cases. That's one up from yesterday. Let's pray that this thing just goes away. Seriously. Other than that, we're up and running this morning. It's a rainy day in Raven County. We want to hear from you if you're having any problems. And if you feel like doing something good for children today, you can support Place of Hope, North Georgia. P.O. Box 933, Clayton, Georgia 30525. The team that is working on that, and I'm a member, happily a member of that team, is stellar, top-notch folks who are adamant about doing the right thing for the right people that we're after, and it's really a blessing. So if you want to be a part of that, we'll welcome your donations. Otherwise, have a wonderful day, and I'll see you tomorrow.